Hi, I'm Dr. Zilal. Most patients call me Dr. L. I am a psychiatrist, and today we're going to talk about long-term care. So let's talk about long-term care. Long-term inpatient residential care can offer a structured, safe, and supportive environment for individuals requiring continuous assistance due to mental health challenges or chronic conditions. Now, this type of care includes, number one, comprehensive treatment, regular access to psychiatrists, psychologists, therapists to address mental health needs, personalized care, tailored programs to address individual mental health needs, life skills training, helping patients to relearn and develop daily living and social skills to improve independence. 24 hours support and monitoring, ensuring patient safety and managing health crises effectively. And finally, community integration, gradual reintroduction into the society through the psychosocial rehabilitation when it's appropriate. The belief that placing a parent or a loved one in a care facility equates abandonment is actually, it's quite common, but it's a misguided concept. In reality, when we place a loved one into a trusted care or a care facility, it is actually an act of love. Seeking professional care ensures your loved ones are given the adequate and gets the best possible support, often beyond what the families can offer. Families often struggle to meet with the physical, mental, and even emotional needs or demands of caregiving. And this can actually lead to caregiver burnout. And caregiver burnout is something real and needs to be addressed. Furthermore, continued involvement. When we send a loved one, when you're placing a loved one in a facility, doesn't mean that you are severing ties. Regular visits and communication, chat groups and regular discussions actually maintains the bond while allowing the professionals to handle specialized care. The sandwich generation. Now, look, these are the generation who are both caring for an aging parent and also their own children. So they are the sandwich generation that's stuck in between. Now, my advice, if they are feeling overwhelmed, number one, they should prioritize self-care, right? You can't pour from an empty cup. It's you need to ensure that you're attending to your own mental and physical health. That's number one. Number two is always seek support. Share the caregiving responsibilities with other siblings, community groups, or get professional services. And don't hesitate to explore respite care options, right? Next is plan financially. It's very common when people don't plan financially or emotionally. So plan financially and emotionally. Address long-term care plans and address these options with the family earlier to avoid last-minute issues, right? And finally, I would say embrace flexibility. Accept that you can't do everything. You can't do it all. Focus on providing quality time, focus on delegating the task so that you don't feel overwhelmed being stuck in between caring for your elderly parents and also caring for your children, for your own kids. Key factors to consider when we're looking at nursing homes. At the top of my head, number one, we have to make sure that the staff are qualified and the ratio is right. Right? So ensure that the staff are trained, experienced, and that there are enough caregiver per resident. That's number one. Secondly, I guess the usual cleanliness, safety, inspect the hygiene, look at the accessibility, look at the safety measures in place. These are really important. Next, look into the care plan. Look for facilities offering personalized care plans for each and every patient that comes in. Not everybody is the same, you can't put everyone in the same basket, right? Also quite important, if it's possible, get some resident feedback. Speak to the current residents or families about their experiences in that particular facility, and you'll get a bit of information of how it is. And finally, and most importantly, is always look for licensing and accreditation. There's a lot of places out there which are not licensed and not accredited. So we have it, the licensings are there for a reason. So verify that this facility meets the regulatory standards. Now, there are certain red flags that we have to look out for. For example, frequent complaints or neglect or mistreatment. These are red flags, right? Or if there is a high staff turnover, people keep on coming and going, there's no familiarity, new staff keep on coming in, there's a lack of transparency when during visits or when answering questions. So these are red flags that you need to really pick up on. Other than that are the usual unclean, a poorly maintained facility, and if the residents appear neglected and isolated. So if you see any of these red flags, then be very careful. So there are some pros and cons. The pros, what I can think of is, number one, there's professional round-the-clock care tailored to individual needs. That's number one. There's access to medical health and mental health experts. There's opportunities for the patients to socialize and participate in a lot of therapeutic activities. And the relief for the caregiver, this is something that can't be denied. Of course, there are some cons that I can think of. For example, the emotional adjustment for both families and residents during the initial phase. Financial, we can't deny. It can be significant, and that needs to be planned out properly. Potential for suboptimal care or in poorly managed facilities, that's also a risk that we need to think about. And finally, separation from familiar environment and routines, which may be a bit difficult for some people to adjust to, especially during the initial period.